Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. So today, after so many weeks of me talking alone, I have my beautiful friend here, Alba, and we're going to be talking about the topic living in Indonesia versus living in Germany. We met in Indonesia and that's why we're making this video, and we're both living in Germany now, so I thought it would be an interesting idea to share our comparisons and experiences. Now guys, you know I have to do it. I have to. If you're not subscribed, please, can you tell them to subscribe?
Subscribe.
Please, can you tell them in Spanish? Because Spanish is my dream language, so...
Suscríbete a su canal.
Please, just do it! How much nicer can it sound? Okay, I'm kidding. And if you're not following me on Instagram, it's @WaleO Chronicles. Follow me on Instagram for more Instagrammy content and more behind the scenes and my craziness on Instagram. Do you want to share your Instagram handle?
Sure, I don't have any posts yet because I'm restructuring it, but you can always follow me if you want. It's KROTTR.Alba.
So just to give a bit of background, when did you move to Indonesia and how long were you there for?
So I was for 4 years in Indonesia, specifically in Jakarta, and it was from 2016 until just now, August 2020. And yeah, now after that I moved here to Germany, so it's only been roughly 3 months. So.
Fresh. I
Really
can
fresh.
proudly say that I'm no longer fresh because she takes the title.
Fresher.
And the first topic we're going to talk about is making friends.
I thought you were going to say the weather. But yeah, also very important, very real.
Okay, wait, let's talk about like
Go
the
ahead.
friends part first, then we'll talk about the weather. So like, what's it like making friends in Indonesia? What was your experience versus making friends in Germany? I know you've been here for just a few months, and of course Corona times is not really the best time, but I can speak on that because I've been here for a while. So
like I said, I was very young when I moved, and I had no experience living abroad, like a real experience living abroad. I had lived abroad when I was a kid, but it's not the same when you're just by yourself, whereas when you're with your family. So the thing was, like, I was 20 and I didn't know how to meet people, and without a job right at the beginning, so I was like, okay, how do I do this? How do people meet? Because I always had friends, you know, because I grew up with the people that I went to school or to the uni or academy. So I was like, okay, but I don't have any of those people here. Like, we're literally on the other side of the world. So, and I was a little bit hard on myself. I was like, okay, this sucks. Like, you get a little bit depressed, and like, you don't understand any of the, like, nothing of the language. So I was like, I was really kind of stupid in a way.
oh man.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to take the opportunity. Like, whereas now that I'm 24 and I'm going for a second time to another country, I'm like, I'm full on, like, I don't care if you find me creepy, I will just come to you and talk to you and say like, oh my god, you have pretty earrings, like, let's be friends. Like, I would just find whatever excuse to talk to you, if I find you interesting, obviously. It's not like I just go and talk with like everybody. I don't do that either. So, but yeah, like, I have changed so much that with the time as well, like, also being a expat in Indonesia, it makes things easier because I think the expat community, like, it's really big, like, so many industries, so many fields, but you kind of meet everybody. It's easy for you to meet everybody, like, especially, like, also, like, when you see someone physically, like, I'm not saying that you know that who is a foreigner and who's not, because you never know for sure. Yeah. But it's easier for you to make an approach. Like, it's like, oh, where are you from? Like, how come are you here? Like, what do you do here? So it's easier. And here, I think everybody's like more into their own thing, like in their own world. And like you said, with Corona, it's not so easy here to make friends. Whereas I think also the weather has a lot to do with it. People are more open to meet other people. So yeah, I think that's the two really big points that I saw, like, differences, meeting people there and meeting people here.
I would say, having been here for a while longer, making friends in Indonesia versus making friends in Germany. Making friends in Indonesia is easier. Obviously, because like you said, the expat community is more intertwined. It's big, but it's not as big as Berlin, I would say.
No.
And it's more intertwined, it's more close, so you get people introducing you to other people. Like, if you meet one person, the person will probably introduce you to two other people, and those two other people will introduce you to other people. So there's this closeness, and also the culture in Indonesia is such that people are more friendly,
Yeah,
more
anyway.
open to asking you questions, more approachable than here in Germany.
Yeah.
Here in Germany, it will take you a bit of boldness to go and walk up randomly to a stranger
I
to
know.
talk. Yeah, she does it.
If I do it to you, I'm not gonna steal from you. I just find you interesting.
Disclaimer.
Just did you know? If you see this little,
Yeah.
I'm very little in person. If you see this little tiny girl walking towards you, I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, so I feel like it's easier in Indonesia to
Yeah,
make friends than
for
it is
sure.
in Germany.
I think for me, my own personal experience, it's been pretty similar so far. Like I said, I've only been living here for 3 months. I've been coming to Germany for a while already. However, I came from Venezuela, like straight from Venezuela to Indonesia. If people know Caracas, the capital, that's where I come from, it is very dangerous. Like if you would hear the exhaust pipe of a motorcycle, you would run because you would think that you will get stolen something, or like they will kill you or whatever.
Like you as a whole will get stolen.
Yes, exactly. So exactly you. Like,
I don't know why I'm laughing. That's so inappropriate. Sorry.
No, it's
I try
okay.
to keep a straight face.
It's better to laugh than to cry.
I just imagine a whole human being stolen on the spot. Like
Yeah. Like they just take you and they just like grab you, and like there's somehow a van right behind the motorcycle, and like you
Oh
go
my
there
God,
and
that's
like
horrible.
you're gone. So like moving like from there to Indonesia, like I saw like my first blick, like my first view was like so many motorcycles. Like shit, people are going to kill me.
Yeah.
Like what the heck? Like what's going on? So I remember like the very first 2 months I was walking on the street. First of all, you don't do that in Caracas, not really, because you are exposed to something to happen to you. You're always in a car. When I saw people like just walking out, and also the person that I was with, like he was like, oh yeah, you should go out and to see things, and I was like, really? But I don't have a car, I don't have nothing, so like walking, is that what people do? Can people do that?
oh my God,
What? Can you do that? So I started going, and I wouldn't wear rings, I wouldn't wear watches or like nice jewelry, nothing, like, or even take out my phone.
Whoa.
So, yeah, that's the kind of reality you live in Caracas. So I remember like then those times that where I would actually go out, it was like, oh, I know I have a message or I have a phone call because I can hear the phone, but I won't take it out because like what if somebody comes and steals it from me?
God.
So, but then I realized like it's so safe just to like walk around, do your errands, and getting on so the taxi, like not just the taxis but the motor taxis, like they were like my one choice, like the to-go choice.
That's Gojek, right?
Gojek, yeah, exactly. Like to use Gojek, and just like at any time of the day. Like I even found myself walking alone in the streets like at 4 or 3 a.m. in the morning after a
What?
party.
In Jakarta?
In Jakarta, yes. Like,
Whoa.
like I would go to a friend's party, which they lived close to where I lived, so it was very easy. And I always felt safe enough to like do those things.
So I would say, like, from my perspective and my experience, safety and security is relative. So it all depends where you're coming from to where you're going. So I would say Indonesia generally, Jakarta, it's not 100% safe. Of course, you have to be smart, but also relative to Venezuela, for instance, and even some places in Nigeria, for instance, it's way safer. But also compared to Germany, which is the main topic of this video, compared to Germany is definitely much safer than Indonesia, because there were cases of people being robbed via Gojek.
I was one of those.
You were robbed and you said you still felt safe.
I still feel safe.
What did they have to do? Did they have to steal you as a whole?
That was crazy. They actually broke in my place. Yes, they did. Like while I was sleeping. Like, and this
Scratch everything she says. I don't know what she's talking about. Like, what do they have to do for you to feel?
That's the thing I didn't notice, except for the last the next morning that I wake up and then I look at my purse and I'm like, okay, why is I left my purse in the kitchen,
my God,
and it was in the guest room, and I
experience.
was like, oh shit, like I don't sleepwalk, so it wasn't me, and I was not drunk either, so I was like, okay, what happened? And then I noticed that some of my items were missing, like my computer, my camera.
Oh my God. I think that's the worst experience, traumatizing, the intrusiveness of somebody being in your space and you not even knowing. They could literally have like sliced your throat.
Yes, exactly.
Or something.
Like that for sure
the
for me was
trauma.
like, yeah, of course I was traumatized once I realized that something could have happened.
Yeah.
But then I was like really, really thankful. I was like,
True.
okay, they just came in, took whatever they wanted, and that's it. At least
I like the perspective how you prefer to see the positive.
yeah, because I could have just stayed and like in this position where I was like, oh yeah, everything sucks, Indonesia sucks, I hate it. So like regardless, and like I said, I have had other experiences, but I always try to see the better side, or not the better side, but like the parts that I remember the most. Like unless we talk about this kind of topics, I don't even remember that I was robbed.
Right. Oh, that's such a good place to be. But Germany is safer. There's more safety and security in Germany
That's true.
than in Indonesia. But Indonesia is also safer than Venezuela or some parts of Nigeria, for instance. So it's all relative in the end. The next area we're going to be looking at is social life and leisure activities in Indonesia versus in Germany.
Yes.
Want to go first?
Oh my god, like that was the best. Like it's a freaking archipelago. Like you can do everything.
Yeah,
like it's
sure.
so amazing. And as you know, I was working in diving, so like it was the paradise for me. Like it was like not just like even as a social activity, because living there in the city, I was able to grow a channel or like a community for other divers and to meet each other. It was not just like, oh, let's go diving together. No, like, hey, let's go for some beers, like let's go to this new place, or like whatever, like let's do a liveaboard together, which is like a super cool experience. Is I don't know if you are familiar with the term. It's where you go on a ship or a boat for a amount of time, like let's say 5 days and 6 nights on the boat, and you're just diving or snorkeling and like exploring the area around where you are. We did that in Komodo.
Oh, nice.
And that was amazing. Like it's one of the most beautiful national parks of Indonesia. And yeah, in Indonesia it's also very easy to travel.
Sure.
Like in itself, and also around the archipelago.
Southeast Asia,
yeah, Southeast Asia in general, it's very easy to travel. So here, but again, I think it's due to the corona situation. But even though when I came here for vacations like a few years back, or I think like the nightlife is amazing, like with the clubs and stuff, like pretty cool. And also I think Europe in general is very easy to travel around.
Sure.
So I think every continent, every country like has their own perks.
Since I've had experience also with the nightlife here in Berlin and in Jakarta, like of course Berlin nightlife is epic, it's nice, it's wonderful, but it depends on the kind of nightlife you like.
Yeah.
So for me, I preferred the nightlife in Jakarta to the one here because they're just worlds apart. So the ones here are more like techno, like grungy, you know, like.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
yes.
Of course, you can always find the dress up and look nice ones, you know. But generally, people don't dress up to go to clubs here.
I do.
They don't. You do? Yeah. You're just one of the few.
Yeah.
Me included. Like in Jakarta, you really have to look. You have to look your best.
Slay.
You have to come prepared, and that's what I'm used to in my country as well. And I like that kind of nightlife. Like I just like it. I like to put on makeup. I like to wear a nice dress. I like to wear heels. I like to be fancy. Once in a while.
Yeah, you feel however you want to look, exactly. And I don't care if anybody looks at me. It's like,
look, it's nothing new.
It's okay. Like I don't care.
Look,
if
it's nothing
people are
new.
Staring. It's like that's because I've met a lot of people who are like which have this same kind of style where they like to dress up, and not for anybody, like for themselves.
Yeah, to feel good.
Exactly. Yeah. And they kind of stopped doing it because they moved to a place where like, oh yeah, I always feel like people are just like staring at me and it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, let them stare. Like that's why you look so good, so that people.
I mean, they're gonna stare at me anyway, so I might as well give them something to look at. Exactly. Like, you might as well get something good to look at, okay? Anyway, yeah. So like the social life for me, I prefer in Jakarta to this place because I like the more like glitzy, like looking good kind of nightlife. The next one we're going to talk about is language difficulty. How difficult is it to learn Bahasa Indonesia versus... Bahasa Indonesia is the language spoken in Indonesia. It's the official language. It's the official language. And what's the difference between the language difficulty of learning Bahasa Indonesia versus learning German?
Wow. So at the beginning, I was like, what is it? It felt like people were just like super drunk all the time, and that's how they talk.
Which language?
Bahasa. Cause
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like you don't understand anything, and they speak so fast.
Yeah, very fast.
So, and there's so much slang that.
Really?
Yes, there's so much slang, and in Bahasa it's actually, to learn it is very easy because there is not a lot of grammar related to it. Like for example, there is like for the sentences there's no past, there's no future, there's only present. So that made it easy. And the way that I learned it was on the street. So like it was like with the taxis, with the people at the supermarkets or at malls, or like while organizing my diving trips, talking with the locals and like getting to know them. Pronunciation is very easy because phonetically is very similar to Spanish. So I could just read it and pronounce it correctly, so that made it easy for me. When I was learning German, Auntie, it's been some time that I've been trying to learn this language, and well, she's laughing, so she knows like her own experience as well.
Yeah, I would say like also I also tried to learn Bahasa Indonesia when I was in Indonesia, and although I did not take it as seriously as I took my German, as I'm taking my German, let me just confess, but my experience is that it's way easier, like you said, to learn Bahasa Indonesia than to learn German, because German is a difficult language, you know. Okay, so what's your highlight of living in Indonesia? And it's too soon to have a German highlight, so let's talk about the Indonesian highlight.
But I think you will know my answer. The weather.
Honestly, I actually was not expecting. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
She read me. Yeah, no, definitely the weather and the fact that it's an island and it's just everywhere. It's so warm and you want to do everything. Like I said, I'm a tropical kid, so. Yeah. So it helps me a lot. Also with my career, which is diving, it is a paradise for me. So like, I would say like my whole 4 years living there, they were always with beautiful moments and beautiful opportunities and experiences, and I will always cherish it. Like all of those memories. But the highlight was, yeah, that helped a lot.
That's so nice. Do you want to shout out your diving shop, because a lot of Germans actually watch the videos?
Oh yeah, sure. If you guys are into diving, there's actually diving in Berlin. Yes. And we go to lakes, and we also make trips also out of Germany as well. I mean, right now with COVID, it's not so easy, but right now I'm working for a very cool dive agency. It's NSC, but our shop is Dive in Berlin. We are in the tail area in Kuschelmacherplatz, if you come from the U-Bahn.
So do you guys have like a handle so that people can follow you?
Yeah, we have an Instagram. It's called @dive_n_Berlin. So dive in Berlin.
So if you're interested in learning how to dive before you go on your tropical diving holiday, you can.
Yeah, we can offer you now English, Spanish, and of course German courses, and you can become a diver with us, and also come diving with us if you're already a diver.
So to wrap up this video, right? If you could choose to live in Indonesia again, would you do it?
Hell yes. Like that's without a question, yes. If somebody calls me and says, "Hey, you coming back to Indonesia?" Yes.
Yeah, same for me. I would actually live there again. Yeah, it's an amazing place. But just to make this more provocative, if you had to choose between Indonesia and Germany, which one would you choose?
Because I want you to come diving with me here, because that's good for me. I will say that during winters I would be in Indonesia, and the rest of the year
No, you can't have the two. You have to choose one.
I can always have everything. I'm used to it.
I love my friends. I love my friends. Like, why shouldn't I have it?
Why should I have just one? Yeah.
Have
the two, the best of both. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for coming to this interview. I really appreciate it. And you guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And what else do people have to do? Yeah, leave a comment. Subscribe. I forgot.
Share it with your friends.
Share it with your friends. Subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. And if you have other topics that you want me to talk about on the channel, do so. And thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in my next video. Cheers.
Bye. Ciao.